All right, if I'm coming through on the speakers, I think. If I could have your attention for a couple of minutes. First, I want to say welcome to everybody, and thank you for coming tonight and helping the Myers and the Fleggies celebrate this special day for Katrina and Steve. We're very happy to have Steve become a member of our family. Very nice man. I don't know, I haven't seen him get really angry with anybody yet in a couple of years, so I suppose that'll happen sometime. But I think Katrina tests him once in a while, so, but he's always just, what do you need, honey? Also very happy that Katrina is becoming part of the Fleggy family. They're a very nice family, and it's nice to see that she's going to be part of that. Oh, just a thank you to some of the people all of the people that have helped here tonight. Mention the three big ones are Spankies, thank you. Spankies out of Vergas. They served the meal. Nice job. Bleachers Bar, then the southwest side of Detroit Lakes. They did a nice job. And of course, the barn. I don't know about the rest of you, but this is the first wedding I've been to in a barn. And ironically, this barn is a lot like the one I spent a lot of my childhood days in. So, feeling right at home here. Next, I'd like to just tell a little story about leading up to probably in the months before Steve and Katrina met. Katrina's nervous. No, Katrina got out of college and she looking for her first teaching job. So, and I think she really wanted to be down in the Minneapolis area. Not probably in Minneapolis, but close to it. So as she searched for a job, she kept broadening her circle, and eventually she got a job out in St. James, Minnesota. Well, come on, are you guys going to nitpick? All right, Butterfield. She lived in St. James. She rented a small house down in St. James. And as a family effort, all five of us, siblings and mom and dad, would go down to move her into her house that she rented down there. And so we leave Minneapolis and we're going down there. And on the way, if some of you know the route, you'll go through a town called St. Peter. And to me, what I remember, I only been through there one time, but that town was kind of like, wow, this is a nice place. It was a little larger, it was closer. And as we're driving through, my wife, San, says, Katrina got a call to interview here, but she'd committed to St. James. Or Butterfield. So I just said, oh yeah, this looks like it would be a good place to look into. So we went on down, got Katrina moved into her little house. Not old, kind of, it was a decent house. Well, it was nice, but I think by the end of the day, Rachel had everybody freaked out that it was haunted, because she told reference in about 20 horror movies. Just it did, Rach. I think I even told you to back off. Katrina's going to be living here alone. Anyway, you're next. So we got her moved in. The next day, the girls spent the night in the house, and nothing happened. It wasn't haunted. Next day, we go over to Mankato to take in some of Vikings training camp, because my wife is a Vikings junkie. So And we're pretty sure that Steve is a Vikings fan. So we're okay. We only have one Packers fan in the family. Anyway, we leave Mankato and we're heading back towards North Dakota. And we had to leave Katrina. You know, she's going back to her empty house in a little town where she doesn't know anybody, doesn't have friends yet. So we're kind of worried about her. As a parent, it was kind of tough. Zigzagging across there, Minnesota, pulling a trailer against the wind. And so I was probably getting a little frustrated and looking for an interstate because there's nothing down there. And as we're driving along, I say to Sam that, Katrina hasn't signed a contract yet, has she? Maybe she's looking at that St. Peter job. And I feel kind of ashamed to say that now because we drove about 5 minutes more down the road, and I just said, no, she can't do that. She's committed to St. James. That's where her job is for the next year. She lived in St. James. That's the important part. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that and I don't know if Katrina ever gave it any thought, but this is mom and dad talking and thinking we might have suggested something to her, which we didn't. But it had been wrong for her to not go to Butterfield because she had committed verbally, just like sports, pro sports, committed verbally to him. But it's interesting to me, I think, that by doing that right, making the right choice, good things came out of it because that same year in Butterfield, there was another new teacher by the name of Mr. Steve Fliggy. And that brings us here tonight, a couple years later. So good things happen when you make, in Butterfield. Butterfield, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Anyway, with that, I would like to propose a toast to this new couple, please. Here's to Katrina and Steve Fliggy.
Ron, you want to say anything?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Want to welcome you to and appreciate all of you coming here tonight to share in this day for Steve and Katrina. Want to also thank Sandy and Kyle Meyer for hosting this event. I think it's been a wonderful day. We dodged a bullet with the weather, so everything has worked out great. From the day we met Katrina, we could see what a special relationship that they were forming, and it's been such a comfortable relationship, getting to know Katrina, and we really appreciate being part of the family now and welcoming you to the family. I wanted to share a short little story that, Karen and I were married in October 24th, 1981, and Steve was welcomed into the world on October 25th, but 1986. And I can't tell you how much fun Karen has had over the years, my wife, kidding Steven until he was old enough to figure out the math that we didn't run down the aisle and then back to the hospital, So, Katrina, you might have already found that Steve can be a little gullible at times, but you'll have some fun. But so, just wanted to again congratulate Steve and Katrina on a wonderful day and wish you all the best. So if I can grab my glass here too, and just propose a toast. So may the joys that you share today be, or grow into greater happiness in the years to come. So here's to Steve and Katrina.
Hey all. I'm Maddie. I'm a friend of Katrina's. We met back in college. We knew each other in high school. We were foes at that time, played against each other in sports, same position, opposite teams. So when we saw each other in college, it was a friendly face, but not necessarily friends at that time. But it definitely grew into that and so much more. Katrina is like a sister to me. We are so close. We've been out of school for 4 or 5 years each between the two of us, so kept in touch. I'm in Bismarck, she's in Staples. But we lived together for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And during that time, I was like, geez, this girl and I are like a lot alike. We're Norwegian, and that runs pretty deep in both of us. And we're both very stubborn. And we both get, that's the stubborn side, denial. We both get pretty feisty, pretty easy. But Katrina's so kind, so sweet, and she's a softie, but it's hard to get to that point of Katrina sometimes. So when she moved to Butterfield and she said, hey, there's this new teacher, Steve. He's pretty cute, They went on their date, went and had their Mexican food, went back and watched their movie, and, their relationship progressed. And then he, I think, came to Grand Forks one day, maybe for the weekend, is maybe where we first met. And I'm thinking in my head, good luck, Steve, because between Katrina, myself, and Danielle, we're pretty rowdy when we're all together. And Steve can be a little shy in the background, but Katrina brings out that party side of him. And so he did great. He fit in, and it was right then I was like, this is it. Like, this is the guy for Katrina. They're getting along so good. And then there's Steve, who's putting up with Katrina, like, you're going to do what I say. You're going to have so much fun. But at the same time, Steve's been able to break down Katrina and show that sensitive side, that loving side, and just been able to really show the relationship they have between each other. And it's pretty incredible, you two. What you have is very special, and I'm very happy for you. And I'm so excited to see what God has in store for you. So congratulations, and here's to the new Mr. and Mrs.
All right, I'm not really sure if I should stand up or not because the chair is the same height as if I sit down, but I'm going to stand up. Maddie kind of did a brief introduction. All three of us met as freshmen at UND. We were all on the 3rd and 4th floor of Squires Hall, and I can't say what their motivation for being friends with me, but I just didn't want to eat by myself at the dining hall. So there were 2 people I could call when I was like, hey, I don't want to go eat chicken strips by myself. So that's how I met those 2. And fast forward through the years, we have many stories between us that I'm pretty sure only the 3 of us will find funny. So we're going to skip past that to when Steve first came into the picture, or more affectionately known as Stove. I'm still not sure I remember this joke because when this came about, we were walking home, and when I say home, I mean to Red Pepper, at about 1:30 in the morning in Grand Forks. And anybody who's been to Grand Forks, that's what you do at 1:30 in the morning. You walk your way down to Red Pepper. And this is where I learned 2 really important things about Stove before I actually even met the guy. One, that he's very patient. It was 1:30 in the morning, And he's talking to Maddie and I as we both grill him over the phone to determine whether or not he's actually worthy of Katrina. So we learned that he's patient enough because he talked to us for like 45 minutes. And the second important thing that I learned about Stove that night was that he will always be there for Katrina. I don't care if it was 1:30 in the morning, he was willing to pick up because he saw her name on the phone and was willing to talk to us. And he must have been pretty interested in her if he was willing to put up with Maddie and I. So I feel like we should probably take a fifth toast. I hope nobody's running out of a drink. I hope there's still enough left in everybody's glasses because there's still a few more. But I would like to raise a toast to Katrina and Stove.
Save the best for last, maybe. No, hard to follow those 5 toasts. But my name's Dan Willman, and I get the honor of standing up here and representing my best bud as his best man. If you guys know Steve, you know he has the uncanny ability to talk on and on. My brother-in-law and I, we joke about it. It's not about like we can't listen fast enough, but we can't actually consume how much he talks. He's got the gift of gab. We were talking about it on the bachelor party. Like, just can talk to anyone. He'll start out reciting movie quotes. Then he'll move to his gas mileage on his Chevy Equinox. Before you know it, he's rehashing the time he blew out his back at UPS. And then all of a sudden we're talking about the alcohol content in Keystone Light. Like, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. You really just can't help wonder sometimes, like, how did we get here? I have the mic for 5 minutes tonight. I'm gonna keep it short and to the point. Before I go any further, I wanna echo what Ron and Kyle said. I want to say thank you guys for all coming here to just, represent my best bud and his beautiful bride. I really appreciate it. Katrina, you're a beautiful bride. Steve completely outpunted his coverage. I especially want to thank Katrina's parents. This day turned out perfect. Can you guys hear me? This day turned out perfect. The venue, the lights, like the weather, I mean, it couldn't have ended up any better. After the wedding, a good friend of the family, Rob, he was talking about looking at his app, and literally he was looking at the Doppler radar, and the weather like went right around us. I mean, on both sides, it's like, so I mean, it really couldn't end up any better. I've known Steve my entire life. Our dads go way back, and we're childhood friends. They are best friends to this day. Steve's parents, Ron and Karen, are my godparents. My parents are Steve's godparents. So growing up, when people used to ask us how we knew each other, we tell them that we were god brothers. And we would get some really weird reactions. What's a god brother? Like you had an imaginary friend on your shoulder or something. So we just decided to shorten it and call each other brothers because that's basically what we are. We've been with each other for every small and large milestone in life, Steve. Sports, girlfriends, graduations, deaths and tough times, engagements, moving, careers. Though we've taken different paths at times, for instance, you went to college for 7 years. I took the 4-year route. We've been there to support each other and bounce things off one another. And I want to let you know that as we move into this next phase of life together, I'm getting married next weekend. Bree and I are here to support you and Katrina. So we just want you to know that we're here to do the same thing we've done our whole lives. I remember exactly where I was when you guys got engaged. You called me, I was in the car with Bree, and I just knew it when you called me. And there's a few moments in life where you just kind of get overcome with happiness, like when you work really hard and you achieve a big goal. And I don't know, that was just, I was overcome with happiness. I was so happy for you. Ever since the first time Bree and I went to visit you guys in Butterfield, I knew you guys were just perfect for each other. Like, I knew it right away. So I just want to let you know that we're going to be here for you. We love you, and you're perfect for each other. No looking back. I do want to toast. You guys are probably wasted by now, but my good buddy likes to say this, and I'm going to say it on behalf of the entire group in this barn. So here's to being with you. Here's to being without you. I don't know what it is about you, but I'd rather be with you than without you. Cheers.
Okay. I promise this is the last one. But we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is here right now. Thank you for coming from wherever you came from. I know it was kind of a trek for some. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our wedding party for doing whatever you did, sticking with us through the day. It was a perfect day. I, as usual, panicked about the weather all week and all day, and I can't believe it did what it did. So I prayed and I prayed for it, and luckily we were blessed with a perfect day. And I also need to mention 3 names that were more than phenomenal in helping put this day together. Kylie and Elissa, please stand. We need to recognize you. And Gretchen, are you in here right now? Stand up, please. They should probably... If you ever need a career change, you know what you should do, because you are like planners, and you guys were awesome. We couldn't have done any of this without you. Trying to put the downstairs together this morning, from picking everything up this morning to just getting everything we needed. Thank you so much to everyone who helped. Steve, do you need to say anything? I know you have something to say. You always do.
I promise I don't have much to say. I'll try to keep it brief so we can get to the party here. I do want to thank, I think from the top down, our pastor, our officiant, Chris Zavila. It was his first wedding that he's officiated. Did a great job. Thank you. Our singers, our musicians, they did absolutely phenomenal. They had not really had a lot of time, if any, to really rehearse, and it was amazing. They did not disappoint. It was perfect. The parents, obviously, mom and dad, you guys have been incredible. Everything you guys have done, behind the scenes, and Kyle and Sandy, been just amazing. I'm really, really happy to merge our families together to join yours and have Katrina join mine too. Just very happy. Everything has gone perfectly. I can't really believe this day is here. It's a little bit of a longer engagement, 18 months, which I've been told is a long time. So it's pretty surreal right now that we're all here together, and just couldn't be more thankful that everyone's here to support us and celebrate. So, anything else? No. Cheers. Thank you all.